seeing those guys in there just high. I was like, this, I'm not trying to be gangbanged. Like, this is a little dangerous. I don't know these people. The Deep Closet. Welcome to the Deep Closet, where I share my deepest secrets, thoughts, and opinions. My name is Siren, and today we're going to talk about the first time I said no. So I was about 23, maybe 24 years old. I was living in Brooklyn, specifically the Bed-Stuy area. And I had met this guy on the street. This is not the first time I met a man on the street living in Brooklyn. I also met my first love on the street, but that's for another story. But yeah, I met this guy on the street. He was pretty attractive, but not anything special. And we exchanged numbers, and one day we decided to meet up and hang out. Now, I I was young, but I wasn't stupid. I wasn't ignorant. I was very aware of the possibility for sex with this man. That wasn't necessarily what I wanted, but I was open. I wasn't like, I had no expectations. So I met him at the address that he gave me. When I showed up at that address, I was quite surprised with the way the building looked. It was a brownstone building in downtown Brooklyn. Um, it was like off of Fulton. It's, a nice area, but the building was a bit of a mess, to be honest. The building looked abandoned. And when I saw him, I was shocked that we were actually going to go inside of that building. So we walk in. I'm just trying to be nice and not have any facial expressions. I'm not trying to judge. I don't really know this guy. This is the first time we're hanging out. So I just wanted to be open. And so we walk in, and on the first floor, first of all, everything was falling apart inside. There was like a little bit of a smell. I'm surprised there was even electricity. But there was a bedroom that someone was in that bedroom watching TV because I could hear the television playing. And he sticks his head into that room and he's like, "Okay, mom, I'll see you later," or something like that. And, she kind of grunts. And I'm like, okay, so that's his mother. Okay, this is the situation that we're in. All right. And we go up the stairs. While we're walking up the stairs, I'm praying to God that these stairs are sturdy because it was just a little, what is the word? Dilapidated. Is that the right word? That building was dilapidated. I really don't think anybody was supposed to be in that building, and I wonder if they I feel like they were living in that building illegally. Anyway, we go upstairs and I can hear another TV playing in another bedroom. There was like, we go up the stairs and the hallway kind of like splits off. You can either, when you go up the stairs, you can either go right or left. There's a bedroom at either side of the hallway, and we go left, and there's a bunch of guys in there watching a basketball game. And these guys, one was passed out. Everybody was smoking. The room was real hazy, and everybody just looked really low energy, and they looked low vibrational. That's just the only way I can put it. But again, I'm not judging. I did, however, um, get on alert because I was like, okay, I didn't know that we were coming into a room with all these dudes and like I'm the only female, and it just kind of felt like I was on alert because I knew that this could be potentially a dangerous situation. But we started off cool. I mean, to be honest, like before I sat down when I first saw the room with the condition of the building and seeing those guys in there just high, I was like, this, I'm not trying to be gang banged. Like this is a little dangerous. I don't know these people. But I sat down and um watched the basketball game with them. Luckily, I liked basketball. I love basketball. I don't watch it anymore, but at that time I was watching a lot of basketball in my life. And so I was really into the game. I was able to like chat with one of the other guys who was like really funny. He was also really cute. And I was kind of surprised that he was there with them because he didn't look like a bum like the rest of those guys did. He was actually pretty cute and he had a nice smile and he was talking and joking with me. And he kind of had a look in his eye like he was surprised that I was there. Honestly, probably the same way I was surprised that he was there. But anyway, slowly but surely, maybe like after 20 minutes of just sitting there watching the game and me just trying to chat with people and just be friendly, um, slowly but surely, one by one, each guy gets up and starts to leave the room. And I was like, there was one guy sitting to my right, and he started gathering his things to leave. And I looked at him, I was like, where's everybody going? And he just said, oh, we just leaving. And I said, well, if y'all leaving, then I'ma leave too. So I started getting my together. And when I said that to him, he kind of looked at me like confused and he kind of giggled, but he was like more so confused. So before I could even like walk out, I was the last one out the door because everybody started leaving so fast. I wasn't ready. I didn't even know that that's what we were doing. I didn't know that everybody was going to be leaving. So I'm trying to leave too. I'm the last one in the room. And the guy who invited me, mind you, he hadn't talked to me the whole time since I got there and I'm watching the game and I'm engaging in conversation with these guys. The guy who invited me there wasn't speaking to me at all. Like, anyway, so once everybody's out the room, now he wants to talk to me. And what he does is he's like, where are you going? I was like, I'm I was like, everybody leaving, so I guess I'ma leave too. And he picks up the door. Like the door is not on its hinges. The door is literally just sitting, leaning against the bedroom wall. So he picks up the door with two hands and places it in the doorway as if like I guess that's how he closes the door. He has to pick it up and place it in the doorway. So he's doing that and I'm like, I think I'm ready to leave. And he was like, no, no, don't go. You just got here. And I was like, no, I think I'm ready to go. And mind you, I'm not like, what I should have done looking back now is like, no, sir, I need to walk out this door. Excuse me, let me out. But in that moment, I wasn't trying to be difficult. I wasn't trying to make a scene. I wasn't trying to make a fuss. All I could say was, I think I'm ready to go. I was like, no. Anyway, he was like, um, he put his hands on my arms and he was just like, but you so sexy, you so sexy. Where you going? You so sexy. Don't go, don't go. You so sexy. And I just kept saying, no, no, no. And it took a few times of me saying no before he let me before he let me leave. And so when he finally gave up and was like, okay, and he picked up the door again to and moved the door to the side so I can get out, um, I could see as I'm walking out the bedroom, I could see across the hall, and I could see the other guys in the other room just doing the same thing they was doing in the other room. In the room that I was in, they just in there smoking and passed out, and I don't know, they looked miserable. But I don't even say anything. I just left. I walked down those raggedy stairs and walked past the mother's bedroom, and I walked out. As soon as I got out of the building, my body started shaking. Like my arms, my hands, I was just shaking, and I had goosebumps, and I could see the hair standing up on my arms. And I wanted to run. I felt like I needed to run, but I didn't run. I just walked super fast, and I just got on the subway, and I went home. And on the subway ride, I was like holding back tears. I really just wanted to break down and cry. I'm wondering now that I'm older, this is over 10 years ago, but I guess I was crying because I felt relief that I was able to get out, knowing that it could have been the worst case scenario with all of those guys like that in that room. So I felt relief. Maybe, well, not maybe, I was scared. I was scared. I had no time to be scared while I was in the building, while everything was happening. I just had to think quick and stand my ground and say how I felt. So when I left, that's when all the fear came, because that was the only time I felt, I don't know, I guess that was the only time my body felt safe enough to let the fear come out, or to actually feel the fear. Because before that, I think I was just running on adrenaline. Like, I just need to flee. I need to get out. But I was really thankful that I said no. I wasn't proud of myself until years later. Looking back on it, it's like I'm really proud of myself being able to stand up and say no for the first time like that. But at that time, no, couldn't even think about myself being proud of myself. I just was confused as to what was happening to my body. Like, why was I reacting this way? And this brings up the question, like, sometimes men don't understand how hard it is for young girls to say no sometimes. And it's not even always young girls. There can be adult women. It doesn't even have to be women, honestly, but sometimes it's really difficult as a person to say no. And maybe some men do understand this. Maybe some men use that against people. I'm saying men. I'm using men and women, and I don't really mean gender specificity. I'm just telling, the story of what happened to me. And the thing is, saying no, it's more than just opening your mouth and saying the word. It's recognizing when you feel uncomfortable, understanding that your choice isn't going to make you look uncool or make you difficult to work with. If someone is bothered by you saying no, then they weren't on your side to begin with. And that's what we have to realize. And so the next time you feel yourself hesitating to say no, just take a deep breath and check in with yourself and know that you have a right to feel how you feel. And if anyone gives you for it, then they're not on your side. Ever since then, I never had a problem saying no ever again. It just got easier and easier. Have you had any trouble saying no before? Put it down in the comments, y'all. Let me know your story. So, thank you for listening. My name is Siren, and this is The Deep Closet.